Now it's time to get attention. We are going to be creating intrigue. That is my favorite way to get attention. Okay. You want to create some mystery, some intrigue, some, I didn't think about that. Or what did you mean by that? Or, oh, good question. I like that. Okay. You want to create some intrigue. So how do we do that? 4 ways to create intrigue. First way is to tease the outcome. Okay. So let's let them know, like, ooh, what can they get if they buy our product or service, So the example here is, you want to double your leads without increasing your budget. I'll show you how in 3 simple steps. So tease the outcome. The other way is to do a surprising fact or statistic. The thing about it here is to actually be bold with the statistic, right? We can't have a mundane statistic. That's boring, right? We want something that actually stands out, that is provocative. Okay, that is actually surprising. The other thing we want to do with a fact or statistic is we want the audience to see themselves in the fact or statistic. So you want someone to go like, that's me. Yep, that makes sense. I do that. Okay, so it's got to be bold, and or the audience has to relate to the statistic. So here we have over 70% of small businesses fail to convert website visitors into customers. And here's why. Okay, so that's the surprising factor statistic. The other way that we can do it is with the cliffhanger. This is a very powerful way to create intrigue that I really, really like. The thing about it is, it's good to create a cliffhanger if you already have an existing story or a personal anecdote. So one that is related to you, the business owner, or that is from your existing customers, okay? So the example that I have here of a cliffhanger is, last year, Sarah's business was on the brink of failure. And today she's hitting record-breaking sales every month. Here's the one thing she changed, right? Cliffhanger. Now you're intrigued. You're like, I want to learn more. Okay, so I love the cliffhanger. And then the final way to create intrigue is to ask a thought-provoking question. Okay, something that makes people go, interesting. So, and it relates to them. So all of these ways to intrigue needs to also relate to your audience. So we don't want to ask a thought-provoking question that has nothing to do with our audience, right? We don't want to, this is the way to get them into purchasing our product or service. So it has to be relatable. So our thought-provoking question is, what if you can cut your work week in half and still grow your business? Okay. So think about what stands out to you as a way to create intrigue. Do you want to do it through tease the outcome, through a surprising fact or stat, with a cliffhanger, or with a thought-provoking question? Think about it. Okay, so I'm going to give some examples here just to get the brain moving, get the brain thinking of different ways to write an opener for your intrigue sentence. So tease the outcome. We can do things like, you're one headline away from creating marketing that is that converts, and here's how to write it. Okay, just you're one step away. You're so close. Here's how to get it done. Okay, how about a surprising fact? Right, on average, small businesses waste 20% of their marketing budget. Right, that's a surprising stat. Like, on average, does that relate? Do you feel like, yeah, I waste some of my marketing budget? That could be me. Even probably that. I would say probably maybe 50%, even more, like bold stat like that. Like half of your money is being wasted, right? How do we fix that? Cliffhanger. So cliffhanger be like, after spending months struggling to attract leads, I changed one thing and it transformed my business forever. Right? So change just one thing. Good thing about a cliffhanger is like, the thing about a cliffhanger is like, you need a hook of like, something happened. I did something. This is what revolutionized their business, right? Those are good cliffhangers. I love a cliffhanger. And then thought-provoking question is like, what's the one mistake small businesses make that keep them from converting leads? One mistake. Okay. All the ways to do intrigue. Okay. So think about it again. Got the juices flowing. Think about, what works for your business. What would you like to try? You want to tease the outcome? You want to do a fact, a cliffhanger, or a thought-provoking question? What do you think? And before we get to actually writing our intrigue statement, there's one more thing we need to do. We need to pique interest. Okay. We just can't leave it at the statement, because what happens is you write something intriguing and then they keep reading and they're like, oh, this doesn't apply to me, or this is boring. And we lost them. Okay. So you just can't have the intrigue statement by itself. You need to cover it or combine it with something that piques their interest. Okay. So there's 3 ways to pique interest. We can talk about the outcome that they get. Right. So what do they actually get? Right. So what's the positive result, the outcome that they can expect? So double your sales in 30 days without increasing ad spend, and something you actually get, or gain 1,000 engaged followers in 3 weeks. Okay. When you talk about the outcome, you want to make it as specific as possible, what they can actually get. Or you can talk about the challenge. So the struggle that they're going through. If you guessed it, that's what we're going to do next. We're going to write our intrigue statement. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to actually start with our audience. So go back to our very first exercise, your audience, right? So for Christine, that's going to be professionals, right, who are unfulfilled and lack confidence. Okay. Then we're going to add in our intrigue method. So pick the one that makes the most sense for you and your business, or the one that you best align with. So that's tease the outcome, surprising factor stat, the cliffhanger, or the thought-provoking question. We're going to combine that with the way to pique the interest, which is either talking about the outcome, the challenge, or the benefit. Okay, we're going to put those things together and write a compelling intrigue statement. Okay, so just to show you how the formula plays out, get you thinking again. So let's say our audience is local restaurant owners. Okay, the method we're going to use here is surprising stat. We're going to talk about the challenge, which is struggling to attract diners on weekdays. So our stat is, did you know 60% of restaurant owners struggle to attract diners on the weekdays? Right. Here's how one cafe increased foot traffic 40%. Okay. I want you to focus on the pink. If you can combine it with, this is how it's done, that's awesome. Okay. The next one. So the next example of this formula is for nonprofit leaders. Okay. This one, we're going to tease the outcome. And the outcome is doubling donor contributions. So donors are steadily declining for nonprofits. Imagine doubling your contributions in just 6 months without increasing your outreach budget. And the final example here is for fitness instructors. This is going to be a thought-provoking question, and we're going to use benefit for this one. So benefit is you want to attract more clients who stay loyal. So our intrigue statement is, what if your fitness class packages could turn first-time attendees into lifelong clients? Okay. Learn how to create irresistible class packages. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes and write your intrigue statements. And take your audience, pick your method. Then I'll talk about the benefit, the challenge, or the outcome, and then use that to write your statement. If you're using a surprising fact, for just this exercise, your fact doesn't have to be 1,000% correct, right? Just write a fact that you think is compelling or relates to your audience for this one, okay? Just to get the exercise down. Okay, give you guys a couple minutes, write your intrigue statement. If you want to put them in the chat, do so. If you have questions and you need help with it, put that in the chat too, and we can help. The next thing I want to talk about is staying on grabbing attention for a little bit. So creating intrigue just happens to be my favorite way of grabbing attention, but there are other ways to grab attention that I did want to highlight here. So there are 4 different ways that I think that are effective methods for actually grabbing people's attention and getting them to stop scrolling. First one is to ask questions. Hidden gem of a way to not only grab attention, but also get engagement. If you ever think about like when you were just reading headlines or going through copy and someone proposed like a question to you, you answered in your head, right? Like subconsciously, if someone asks you a question, you answer it, whether you like verbally state it or not. In your head, you always answer it. Okay. So just getting people to engage and stop and pay attention. Ask a question, okay? They will stop and they will answer it in their head. Now, whether they'll like type and actually physically respond to you is another question. But if you want to just get attention and get people to stop scrolling, ask them a question. Okay. The other way that you can grab people's attention and copy is to highlight problems. The thing about highlighting problems that works really well is that it shows empathy because it shows understanding. People go like, oh, you get me, or yep, that's me. Like I resonate with that. So highlighting problems is a good way to resonate with your audience. And if you resonate, then you can get attention. My favorite way is to speak to desires, right? People are aspirational. Sometimes people don't always respond to negative frames. They respond to aspirational frames, right? So when you position things as far as what they can get or what they aspire to or what they kind of value or dream, then it's a good way to connect with your audience. So speaking to their desires is a very effective way to grab attention. And the other one is hypothetical scenario. So the word imagine is very, very powerful in copy, right? That's also a hypothetical. So imagine, what if, would you rather, right? Present the scenario of what it could be if they take your product or service or reach their actual goals. Okay? So 4 ways that I like to use to grab attention. Great. Intrigue is my favorite, but these also work very, very effectively as well. Just to point out some examples of attention grabbers in these categories. The thing about it is it falls into kind of 2 flavors. So asking questions and highlighting problems really talks about the challenges, okay? And speaking to desires and hypothetical scenarios really speaks to their aspirations, what they want. The beauty of this is the combination of the 2 makes them powerful, okay? So combining questions or highlighting the problem with speaking to desires or hypothetical scenarios. So for example, if I take this first one, do you ever feel like there aren't enough hours in the day to market your business? What if you could cut your marketing time in half and see better results? The combination is pretty good, right? So combining the question with the hypothetical scenario, right? I answered the question almost. What about like this middle one? So small business owners struggle to find affordable ways to stand out in a crowded market. What would it feel like to have a steady stream of customers without constantly chasing them? Okay, combining the 2. Let's do this one. Writing marketing copy can feel impossible when you're wearing 10 other hats every day. If you had 1 extra hour every day to focus on growth, how would that change your business? Okay. So combining the 2 are really, really great. So it doesn't have to live in isolation, right? It doesn't have to be like, I can only ask questions is the only way to grab people's attention. No, you can combine that with asking questions and speaking to their desires. Okay. So I just wanted to point that out for you guys. So make a note. These are different ways to grab attention, but combining either these 2, which is highlighting, asking a question or highlighting the problem, with combining that with speaking to desires or hypothetical scenario will make your copy way more powerful.